People, Deluded, I'm back again. Quick vid. I know a lot of you that watch my videos, especially, what was the title? I've done a video on 2 Lorient players, and I touched briefly on Claude Maurice. Now, Arsenal have been linked with him. I kid you not, people. I swear, you lot know I'm never lying. I had the video details to make this vid about him, and we've been linked with him. So I thought I might as well do it. Allegedly, the people that are watching Alexis Claude Maurice are Atletico, Real Madrid, not Real Madrid, Atletico, Chelsea, us, and Sociedad. So some very attractive propositions. A lot of that is off the back of, obviously, I believe he's got 13 goals in League 2 in France, and he's got around 3 assists. He's 20 years of age, turning 21 in a couple of months, and I think he's a decent player. You lot know I'm not here to say potential and this and that and the third, but he's a decent player, man. How far he goes relies on him. But from what I like from the 20-year-old, he can play on the flanks, probably better on the left, but I believe his long-term position is either a cam of sorts, or a central base sort of player. I feel he's got everything you look for in an Arsenal player. He relishes the ball coming to feet. He's got good balance. He's got a good eye for a pass. His distribution is good. He can recycle possession well. For me, at times, he could probably play with his head up a bit more. And obviously, at this age, it's about making the right decision all the time. And I know he's scoring a lot of goals, but 3 assists, if you watch him, that shows someone that's not quite there in picking the right decision all the time. The hardest thing to do in football is to make the right pass 100% of the time. I don't know why I'm thinking of 27 there, people, but he's decent, man. Now, if we read between the lines a bit, obviously, Lorient, we got Guendouzi. You're thinking, all right, cool, this is a pipeline. What you got for us? What more you got for us? Completely different. I feel obviously, Guendouzi was an uncharted 19-year-old. This guy's 20, turning 21, so people are probably going to think or expect a bit more from him. He's a French under 20 international. He's only played 50 odd times for Lorient, so he's not got that much experience as a professional footballer. But I think he's decent. He's a cam, like I said. So if we read between the lines, Mkhitaryan's linked with a move away. Ozil's linked with a move away. Ramsey, who plays that hybrid 10 role, has been linked with a move away, or in fact, it's confirmed he's leaving. So that's 3 sort of players left. Assuming they all was to leave, that's a massive void. I wouldn't want them all to leave. Well, Ramsey's gone, but in the name of experience and making too many wholesale changes, and it would be unhealthy pressure on this guy, because regardless of what you think about Mesut Ozil, Mkhitaryan, they're experienced pros, and they probably are more consistent than Maurice, especially considering he'd be leaving the 2nd division in France to join the Premier League. So I would back him to hit the ground running, but I don't think it's someone similar to Guendouzi that we should be putting unhealthy amounts of pressure and relying on him. He scores goals for fun. He scored some tap-ins. He scored some decent link-up play. I'm sure there's a long-range goal in there from his highlights. I think he's all right at taking corners and things like that. From doing my research, allegedly he's decent at set pieces, but I haven't seen him take a set piece to verify that, my guys. But allegedly the fee that's being sought after is 10 million. So on the basis of him being 20, turning 21, 10 million, not the most. With that being said, if he becomes the player people think can be, or a fraction of that, he can make a tidy profit, and we've got to consider all of them possibilities as Arsenal fans. I like his eye for goal. I like his runs as well. I like that he's always seeking the ball. He relishes the ball. He relishes coming short for the ball. He relishes running onto it. He relishes the ball at his feet, man. Very much a cultured player, wants the ball at his feet, makes smart runs in behind, and I like his balance. I think he's got a decent size to him in terms of being able to maintain the ball and recycle it and things like that. So I got a lot of time for him, man. I really want him at my club, to be fair. Obviously, when I say really want, it's not the end of the world, but in terms of just getting a decent squad player under the radar, I'd be all up for it, man. Obviously, with all the teams monitoring him, he's got an attractive opposition to make, propositions for himself to make. So we'll see how that one develops. But he's a decent player in my opinion, people. And like I said, man, I'm sure a lot of you have more experience watching this player than me and can probably tell me exactly how many what are these things called, how many lines he has on his hands and things. But that's my 2 cents for him, anyways. I might as well touch on William Salbira. I can never say his name, but I might as well touch on him again. Labelled the next Varane, playing for Saint Etienne. He's rough around several edges, in my opinion, people. I think his positioning at times, marshalling the line. I feel at times knowing when to step out and when to drop back as a defender, he still needs to learn. But I like him, man. He's fairly quick, good recovery challenge and a good recovery bit of pace on him. sticks to his task. Doesn't he still needs to work on when not to dive in and when to stand up, but he doesn't panic. He can win the ball back. You see what I'm saying? He can win the ball back. He's not afraid to be aggressive and put in challenges on the front foot. Distributes the ball well. Decent in the air as well. Can play on the ball in tight positions. Not afraid to try crossfield passes and things like that. He's got decent height as well, and he's only 18. It's easier to see why he's being labelled the next Varane. I think he's a completely different player, as I do with most players, but I think he's someone we should potentially bring in as well. Obviously, I sound like a hypocrite because I want that, in an ideal world, 24 to 26-year-old prime centre-half, better than what we have already, ready to take our defence up a level. I believe in this guy, and I believe he can be something similar to that, but I just said he's 18. He hasn't got the most of experience, as much as I believe in him. Does it make sense, people? I want him. I believe it's a no-brainer. I believe both of, well, William especially a no-brainer. I would love both of them at the club, to be fair, because this is the sort of model we've got to go at. We've got to kind of get these players that are unpolished and sell them on for profit, or get them before they reach that next level, like Mane once upon a time, Salah to a degree, Kevin De Bruyne, obviously when he left Chelsea and that. But I'm trying to find a better example. Leroy Sané, obviously he cost 40 million, but when he was at Schalke, they're them sort of signings I believe us, Spurs, City and Liverpool at the time could have been completing. Do you get what I'm saying? Obviously now Sané, ironically linked with a move away, we can't go in for him now, but that would have been 40 million well spent. You see what I'm saying? We got to move fast when we're in the transfer market. But for now, I'm going to keep it moving. People, DG, it's been a pleasure as it always is. I'm out.